God is, God is, God is love. Hello, welcome back, or welcome for the first time. My name is Shone, and today, or I should say, in this video, I wish to talk about some of my own healing journey. The reason why I feel finally that I can create videos that perhaps some will perceive as teaching and others will perceive as sharing, and some will have their own perceptions, other perceptions. The reason why I finally feel that this is appropriate is because I have been truly impressed with many of the videos that I've discovered on YouTube. And well, some of the more recent videos that I've been impressed by appear to be largely AI created more than even the videos that I created last year. Some of them perhaps by complete AIs, making the entire video from up and down and left and right. But what truly impresses me is the timing of many of these videos. And well, I could look on it as some sort of conspiracy, we could say, or some sort of malfeasance. I'd rather see it as divine timing. And what I mean by that is that often when I've had questions, these videos have come into my field at amazing times and unreal timing. And so, with that being said, I've realized that I can say what I have to say and share what I'm called to share, and recognize that those who are called to listen, their higher selves, God, the universe, source, they will guide those who require it. And to watch someone's video isn't always to confirm what you already believe to be true or have heard several times over. Sometimes a video is put in our path as an obstacle, perhaps way to trigger us. Perhaps there was something that we were unwilling to see. And occasionally, or often perhaps, or somewhere in between, wherever it resonates for you, we receive the message that we require when we need it. And so this particular message, as I'd mentioned, is about my healing journey. Now, my healing journey has been a long one. And the best case and the best thing is it's not over yet, because every day I heal. And it's because I've come to realize that it's not just about my healing. It's about my healing, of course, my family's healing, my community's healing, my country's healing, my planet's healing. And then we can even go further beyond that. It's my ancestors' healing. It's my lineage's healing. It's humanity's healing, and we can go beyond that. However, it all spirals down to my healing, because as I heal, I've come to realize that I lift others around me. And as I lift others around me, they lift others around them. And so I thought one of the most important first videos that I'm going to create, or transmissions or explanations of my experience, are my own personal healing. And there has been many, many different things. One of the things that Ram Dass had explained to me is that, well, not me personally, but in his videos, he talks about that he was a way shower, that he would simply say, "Hey, there's something over here. You guys want to come and look?" And then it's our free will and our choice whether or not we want to come over and see what he had to say and what insights he would speak to us. And that's the kind of way that I look at myself. So these healing modalities that have worked for me, or as Bashar called them, permission slips, aren't necessarily something that'll work for everyone. However, by simply listening to, and actually more importantly than listening, after perhaps receiving what I have given, perhaps it'll change your your direction, or directory, sure. It could change your direction and lead you to something that truly resonates with you. So one of the most important healing modalities that I chose to experience was something called thought field therapy, better known as TFT. I learned about thought field therapy after being introduced to it by Kevin Trudeau, and it's an amazing modality for healing. Now, I'll give you a little bit about it, just as kind of a teaser, we'll call it, and then it's up to you. So, what thought field therapy is it was a modality created by Dr. Callahan, and he had essentially had a client in which he helped, I guess, release a phobia of water. And he did this through tapping on certain parts of the body. Now, there was a method to it, which he spent and has spent, and his wife has spent an awful lot of time honing this therapy and teaching people all over the world. Now, they teach teachers to teach. And I learned as a student. And so while I could be a practitioner, I discovered that I had learned this modality for myself. And for over, I'd probably say every day for almost 4 months, I did a practice on this at least once a day, sometimes twice. And I used it to essentially heal from many, many, many traumas. Now, the nice thing about this modality of healing is it's not required that the person that's receiving it, so if you're doing it to yourself or you're helping another person with it, it's not required that we even know what the trauma is. See, one of the challenges I believe with most of the healing modalities out there, not most, but many of them, is that they require the patient to kind of talk about it. Now, as we talk about our traumas, we relive them, and our body it doesn't know whether or not you did it now or it happened before. But however, some of the same chemicals that happened at the time of the trauma could be released. And so the amazing thing with this type of healing is that it wasn't about talking about it. It wasn't about exploring it. It wasn't about, and I keep saying wasn't about, but I think it's important. It wasn't about being a victim. It was simply about bringing someone up into my field and trusting that I was eliminating that. Now, this particular modality is based on a rather large, ancient, we'll call it, method of healing, and that's known as acupuncture, because TFT uses meridians very similar. I'm going to say similar because that's how I perceive it, and I'm not sure if they're exactly the same, but they're using meridians of the body, and these are energy pathways. And so there's a series of tapping. See, it doesn't even hurt. It's painless, it's quick, it can be done right away, and it sometimes actually eliminates a phobia that you could have had for a long time. So I will put the description to as I said, Dr. Callahan's wife, I'll put the link in the description. And I definitely recommend anyone who is looking to take their own healings in their own hands. Now, there is another form of it called EFT. And from my understanding, that is an offshoot. A student of Dr. Callahan had decided to go off and make his own version, believing he could do something different. That is one alternative. However, I definitely recommend the TFT. Now, we're talking about healing, so perhaps I'll do a longer video on TFT and perhaps even videos. I've been inspired to perhaps make TFT videos for those who aren't interested in perhaps learning it themselves and simply want someone to help them with it. I was thinking of making videos and then putting them on Patreon, but we'll see how much interest is for that. Now, there are many other different things for healing that I've done, and so I'll give a little bit about a little bit. One of the healing modalities that I've done an awful lot of is learning about terpenes. Now, I won't say, or no, I don't want to keep using the word not. I am, although, see, I'm trying to find the right words. I don't resonate as being a herbologist, whatever. Terpenes, I don't even know how to see. The challenge is I was about to talk about my teas, and maybe I'll just flow right into my teas and I'll talk about terpenes later. I was literally looking at some flowers, and for some reason I started talking about terpenes ahead of time. But what I had meant to talk about first was herbs. And I'm not talking about marijuana right now when I'm saying herbs. I'm talking about lavender and lemongrass and peppermint and yeah, so many different herbs and natural things that come from nature. And one of the practices that I've been doing for over the last 3 years, I'd say, is I've been making my own teas, boiling different herbs, mixing them with lemon and ginger. And right now in my cup, I have this amazing peppermint with a burdock root and lemongrass. And then I've even mixed a little bit of lemon ginger that I specially made as an additive for some of my different teas. So I have made so many different teas and they're amazing. There are so many different herbs out there that can give us so many medicinal benefits, but not even just medicinal benefits. Peppermint, for example, is just when it's nice and cold and it's just peppermint and you can put whatever you want in with it. It's just nice and refreshing. And lemon and ginger, boiling them in water. Like you can find lots of recipes. I'm not here to make things for everyone, but I found myself just instinctively or intuitively mixing different herbs. I'm sorry, not herbs, flowers, dried flowers, and sometimes not even dried. Like even just taking a not a dead, but a dried rose petals and using them. Like I remember when I was a kid and I remember eating dirt. There's lots of things in the dirt and playing in the dirt is very healthy. The world isn't as, I don't know, the world isn't as dirty or scary, in my opinion, as we have been programmed to experience. And so, yeah, so making teas out of whatever you'd like to, find the recipe on the internet or go to your local herb store, or Chinese doctors have an awful lot of different types of herbs as well, and experiment, make teas that you are led to make and trust that they'll benefit you. And if not, they'll taste good. And if they don't, it's okay. It's like a art project. If it doesn't work out, it's experience to know what not to do next time. Now, I would almost say daily healing. And yeah, I would almost say daily. Like even when I was traveling, I'd go to a store and I'd find Epsom salts. So this has been almost a daily practice for me. And what I'm referring to is Epsom salt baths. Now, for guys or girls, however it is, like let's not delineate the sexes on this. Having a warm bath, and if you want cold, sure, but I prefer warm, but having a warm bath with a decent amount of Epsom salt or Himalayan salt or whatever you have access to, and adding some essential oils, which, by the way, have terpenes in them, but we'll talk about terpenes later. And this is not only therapeutic in the sense that it's so relaxing, like Epsom salts have magnesium in them and they help relax tense muscles, and that's how they're marketed. They're inexpensive. I will admit that they're becoming a little more scarce. I've noticed that. I used to be able to get them in abundance, and now they're becoming less and less. However, there's a market for someone, or there is already, that people do make different types of Epsom salt baths. Now, there are some Epsom salts that you'll get from different pre-made manufacturers that have perfume in them. Honestly, I don't recommend those simply because I don't know what the perfume is. Like, it's their scents that they're trying to get. I prefer to either put the Epsom salts in the bath directly or buy from someone who is perhaps mixing them with their own essential oils, or getting your own essential oils, something that you resonate with, mixing it with the Epsom salts and then putting it into your bath. It's an amazing thing. And now, what the benefit is, in my opinion only, is that they cleanse your energetic field. They're not only soothing and relaxing, and the magnesium helps with your muscles, it is also of my intuitive opinion, what a word, intuitive opinion, but they are of my intuitive opinion that they actually cleanse your energetic field. And since we are all made of energy down at our smallest quark, or whatever it is, the smallest part of who we are, they help cleanse us. So if you're in a situation where you have a low vibrational energy that's stuck to you, this is definitely a great way to disconnect from it. And yeah, with that being said, another healing modality that I've often used is essential oils. Now, there are many different, I would say, qualities of essential oils out there. So, but nonetheless, essential oils are an amazing therapeutic way of having whatever your room, whatever it is, smell really great. I've often mixed it with, I think it's called witch hazel, but anyways, to mix it in some sort of carrier and create my own sprays, or to put it in a diffuser and let it run. There are so many amazing essential oils. Thieves oil is one of the most amazing for that I found for myself for any type of respiratory issue that I've had. So once again, all of this that I'm talking about is personal experience. Definitely not telling anyone to do anything. These are things that I've done. Like, there was a time where I had a lot of nasal issues, and what I did was I took a boiling hot water, put it in a large pot, and put a little bit of thieves oil or peppermint or eucalyptus oil, and I put it into the warm water with a towel over my head, and I was able to breathe in. And of course, you don't want to use, like, I never used too much, because peppermint, like, one thing is, if you use too much, it's really fresh. But yeah, that was one of the things that I've used, is those oils as well as lemongrass. Now, I did learn, though, that there are two different types of oils. There's hot and cold, and there's some oils who actually feel a lot hotter when they're in your bath with the Epsom salts. And yeah, so that's definitely one thing to learn. And you'll go through your own. And it's like I said, healing, what I've discovered is, when you're trying to improve your own self, and I'm not talking about healing as in healing I have to like, yeah, I don't want to speak too much in it, but healing, when I mean healing, I mean looking after your own health. I found that when I take my power back and I start to learn things that benefit me, and put down the controllers and put down the iPads and put down the electronics, the distractions, essentially. See, healing for me wasn't just what I added to my life. Like, all of those things that I just referred to, is those are me adding things to my life. And before I added them, I researched them. And, like, one of the greatest resources that I found for researching was a book series by a being called the Medical Medium. And these books are amazing. They are built like textbooks. So essentially, I'm leading right into another opportunity that I grabbed. that I received and then held on to, and now I'm sharing. But the medical medium, like, it's an amazing series of books, and it doesn't have to be the end all of medicine. However, it does open our minds up to more possibilities. And the more possibilities that we allow into our field, the greater our chance to empower ourselves with a beautiful life. And yeah, so there was that book. Now, that book interrupted something that I had done. I lost my train of thought to what I was going to next. So I'm going to take a deep breath. And if you're still here, I truly want to say thank you and bless you for not only sharing your time with me, with your higher self, with the community of people that I intend to create. I thank you for you looking after yourself, because the more of us who learn and grow and become, maybe not become is the word, but take back our sovereignty. And I say take back because we gave it away. We gave it away by allowing others to be symbols. And yeah, it's our time to remember that we create our reality. And you can see that and view that and hear that and experience that in any way that resonates with you. However, we do create our own reality. We create our own opportunities. We create our own creations of art, and we are responsible. Even when we hold ourselves accountable for the things that we've done, we create opportunities to learn and to express and to forgive. So, what else have I done to heal myself? Oh, this is one of the most amazing ones. Now, this particular modality I have done since summer camp in between grade 7 and grade 8. I use this modality to seduce, I guess. It's an amazing modality, not only for seduction, and maybe seduce isn't the right word. However, that you'll get what I mean. It was a great way to, at that time, for my younger self, to share my energy and express my love. However, what I'm of course talking about is massage, self-massage, learning how to massage others, sharing massages. Like, I've been in these platonic circles where in acting school where we'd all sit in a circle and we'd massage each other's shoulders. Like, oh, I can't, like, that was just amazing. I really would love to get back to acting school just for that. But to give and receive massages. Now, it's it's not just for seduction, it's also for love. I once had this situation where I injured my thumb really, really badly. And my mother-in-law at the time, every day she would massage my thumb. And I have to say thank you with so much gratitude to her for helping me heal, because it was those massages that helped my thumb heal. And back massages, there's something called acupressure, which is a form of massage that is a traditional Chinese massage. I've had experienced a lot of that. There's Thai massages, there's sport massages, there's Reflexology, which is another form of Chinese massage on the legs. That is amazingly powerful if you can find someone who knows how to do that really well. Like the reflexology, I'm going to highlight that a little bit, because reflexology massages, there's certain points on the bottom of your foot that that for 5,000 years or so, the Chinese have known are directly connected to different organs of your body. And they can do their techniques and essentially help different organs in your body and different ailments that you have. There is Thai massage. Now that one's fun, like painful, but fun. Deep tissue massage. Of course, there's all the types of massages that are more, I would say, modern. and more therapeutic per se. I haven't really done too much of those. However, I was driving across Canada and I stopped in Regina and I met this massage therapist, and I had a lot of tension from driving for such a long distance, and this guy did an amazing job, and he was I think they're called RMTs, registered massage therapists, but nonetheless, massages are another great modality of healing. Now, right now we are running on 29 minutes, so I'm going to approach one more modality of healing that I have come to truly, truly value. And that modality of healing is meditation. Meditation is a truly amazing, like, this is how God sometimes speaks to me, is through meditation. And meditation for me, well, there's many forms of meditation out there. And as I have said, and maybe in this video and others, Bashar calls them permission slips. So there are many different permission slips for meditation out there. Whatever resonates with you, that's great. You'll find that one form of meditation might work at one time, and then you'll end up doing something else. For me, I've come to see my current form of meditation is essentially quietening the mind. Now, meditation can be done through washing the dishes, cutting the grass, sitting in a quiet place. What I found for me to be the key of meditation, or even guided meditations, listening to someone else's voice and going along with them. One of the other meditations, no, not the other meditation, another form of meditation is sitting in silence. I don't mean silence as in sitting in a quiet place where no one is around. Like, I've meditated while sitting outside of Starbucks before. What I mean is, meditation simply is allowing your mind to be calm, allowing my mind to be calm, and whatever thoughts come up, and I just let them go. I find it to be very similar to, like, the idea of waves crashing against a shore. The wave crash, it recedes, it crashes, it receives. Thoughts, and we'll talk about thoughts in the future. Our world is really interesting of how it truly is. And I don't mean that I know how it truly is, because I'm still learning and God's still showing me. But meditation for me has become sitting there and just allowing whatever thoughts come and then letting them go. So I hope I hope everyone and anyone who has listened to any part of this video finds amazing, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that you took the time to listen. And yeah, I guess share this if you find someone who's looking for healing. But more importantly, I know that I have done what I need to do. And how I opened up this video is that people will find what they need when they need it. And I trust that God will do what God needs to do, however you perceive that. So in love, I thank you so much for sharing this time with me. I thank you for loving yourself. I thank you for choosing yourself.